What's good, gamers? Buttoff9401 here, and in today's video I wanted to try my hand at talking about a weapon in Borderlands 4. But before we get too deep into the video, if y'all could click like and hit subscribe as well, that'd be really cool. I'll put out a video once a week on Fridays noon Eastern time, and really it's just whatever I feel like putting out at this point. Sometimes I do Destiny, sometimes I do Borderlands, I guess. Sometimes I ramble about shit I care about that no one wants to watch. Sometimes I get angry and mauled about things, but yeah. Sales pitch is bad. Anyway, I'd really appreciate it if y'all would show this video a little bit of support, and that'd be very cool. Thanks. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the Star Helix Assault Rifle in Borderlands 4. It is a deadless assault rifle that can world drop, but has a higher chance of dropping from the Guardian Timekeeper. It can come in any element, or none. Pick your poison, or just go kinetic, since it's reliably decent against all enemy types and all health types, so it's not a bad pick. The flavor text, they see the stars and they think mine, along with the name of the gun, are a reference to one of my favorite book series, is The Expanse, written by James S.A. Corey or Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank. I don't know how to say the last name. The first book is called Leviathan Wakes, and let me tell you, it's quite fucking good, man. It explores the concept of true cosmic horror in a way that you don't see so often, while also having an incredibly fleshed out universe with politics and culture, and all the good shit that A Song of Ice and Fire has. It's just science fiction as opposed to fantasy. Read it, or get Audible. I'm not sponsored, though I'd like to be. I will do shit for cheap Audible. Hit me up. Listen to it. It's really good. There's also a show, but I haven't watched all of it because I'm a pretentious asshole, and I think that actually the quote comes from the show specifically, but, yeah. Anyway. Star Helix Assault Rifle, right. It's a returning weapon from Borderlands 3, and I gotta say it's a fucking downgrade, man. Not just in the way that all deadless weapons are a bit of a downgrade compared to Dahl in 3 overall, since Dahl was cracked as all hell back in 3, but even compared to other returning weapons, it's weak. And it's not winning against the other deadless ARs, let me tell you. Let alone other legendary ARs in general. Shit, I'd probably prefer an epic deadless AR to this, since they've got more options for licensed parts, and actually shoot straight, barring the weird bloom shit that this game has for some fucking reason, if you fire for too long without a Hyperion attachment, but whatever. So what exactly does the Star Helix do? The legendary effect is called Constellation. Projectiles can be fired vertically or horizontally. The pattern is always the same. There's one central projectile and two outside curving in a helix. Bazinga! Shape on repeat. Every so often the three projectiles will intersect at the same spot. The Alt Fire button just changes if the pattern is horizontal or vertical. If my explanation sucks, just watch the background footage for a bit to see what I'm trying to describe. You will definitely see me do my best. Pretty simple. This does mean that it cannot roll with any underbarrel attachments though, and that's pretty unfortunate considering how strong underbarrels are. Back in Borderlands 3, you couldn't change the orientation, just the zoom, and I think maybe the fire mode, but I don't think you ever wanted to not be in full auto with this. But it was also significantly better statistically. A much higher fire rate, more ammo, better damage, faster projectile speed, and none of this bloom shit that I already talked about. Fuck this mechanic. What are we doing? We already have recoil. What are we doing? I've used a couple since the week that I'm recording this. The week the wildcard mission drops it and is relatively quick to complete. So I figured I'd make my first weapon review on one that I'm extremely familiar with from a previous title. But anyway, I've gone through quite a few different versions, and it's just not good most of the time. Like, you gotta position in such a way that the projectiles all make contact at the same time, hitting the same crit spot. So any enemy that closes the distance or flies or is more mobile is just going to force you into this really annoying spacing game that is for sure doable, but it's not something that is enjoyable to think about and manage while keeping track of buffs, timers, skills, etc. And like, look at this fucking UI. There's a lot of shit going on, so like, it's something else to keep track of, and that's just not fun to do in my opinion. Plus, the slower projectile speed means that even when you're leading your shots, you're still going to miss the first few since the pattern is all wonky at times. That being said, the damage output of this thing is respectable. When everything lines up, you will absolutely throw down some hurt, so like, if it works for you and you're not having problems with it, far be it from me to tell you otherwise, but compared to other options, this is just a little bit wonkier. Bossing is also not this thing's strong suit at all. Projectile travel time coupled with how mobile some of the more significant bosses are, plus the funny grapple platforming they want you to do in the middle of those fights, do not a good team up make. that sentence sucked. It does not excel at bossing. That's what I'm trying to convey there. Oh, I forgot to mention this, but if you're playing online with a friend at all, this very quickly becomes borderline unusable since the non-host delay hurts it even more. It's very rough. That's a netcode issue, not necessarily a gun issue, but it exacerbates all the problems with this weapon. So, just something to keep in mind. I straight up cannot fathom a time or build where you'd rather use Star Helix over a Bloody Lumberjack and Oscar Mike, the first impression, if you've got the pre-order bonus, any other AR, to be honest with you. If you've got something in your build that triggers off a projectile count and builds up per hit, just use a Vlad AR since they're straightforward and throw lead down range exponentially faster. I don't know about this personally, but Cool Dude says that Aegon's Dream isn't bad, it just burns through ammo really quickly. But like, if it burns through ammo quickly, that means it shoots a lot of shots down range really fast. So I imagine it'll build up whatever stat count you're trying to give a shit about a lot faster than this will. Look at the rate of fire on this thing. If it was faster, maybe it'd be better, but it's not, and the projectile speed is just slow enough to be annoying. That is not to say this thing is unusable, despite the tirade of bullshit I just said about it. Far from it. But that can be attributed to a myriad of other factors, plus legendary base stats putting in work. It's just that compared to other options, I would prefer to use something else. Now, if you're dead set on using this for whatever reason, I've got a few tips. Don't take one with the shitty iron sights. They suck. They feel bad to shoot, and they get in the way at times. Fire rate increases are quite useful, as are projectile speed increases, like from the high caliber firmware, so just the two things that are very important to make this gun do much better. Don't use one with a licensed ripper mag. The charge up to fight sucks and is not worth it. I probably don't have to tell you that, but just, it's not worth it. I would much rather be able to pull the trigger and my gun immediately start firing, because if the damage was better, maybe that'd be something, but it's not better enough to be worth it, so I wouldn't do that. The vertical pattern is probably where you're going to want to stay, given how a majority of enemies have crit spots near the top or center of their model, so keep it there, and that's it. The Star Helix Assault Rifle in Borderlands 4. It's not that great. It's not useless, but I would prefer to use other things. With that being said, that is going to do it for me today. Just a little, an attempt at doing something today. This is my first try at doing a video or review on a weapon that isn't from Destiny, so I'm getting into the swing of things. This is talking about PvE as opposed to PvP, which is not something I normally do. So I would love to hear any and all feedback that you guys have for me on this video in the comments down below. If I missed something, or if I missed like a specific talking point that you'd like me to elaborate on in a future video about a different weapon, or maybe do a revisit on this if I completely butchered everything, let me know. Give me the feedback. I'd love to hear it. Tell me I suck. Tell me I'm amazing. Anything you want in those comments down below. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.